Leslie Williams was the daughter of a hotelier here in Ketchum, Idaho. Leslie was one of the young people, local young people in town who would kind of take care of the wealthy children when they came to Geyer Hot Springs, the hot springs out near where Frenchman Bend is. And she would have to camp out in the tents with them and make sure that they had the kinds of things that they needed. Her father built the hotel, and there was a rivalry between Mr. Baxter and Mr. Williams, who had hotels, and they each called the others a flea bag hotel, and a lot of upset between the families. And one night, the whole block went up in flame. And Leslie describes that in her oral history. There was a feud all the time between this end of Main Street and that end of Main Street, and he got worse and worse as years went on. And that spring in 1904, my mother woke up to hear this terrific noise. She thought it was the wind, and she kept waiting for the wind to strike, and it didn't. And she raised up. We had a little extra room on the side of the hotel. Over the door there, that went into it was a transom, and she looked up and she could see the flames all against it. And by the time we got up, she got us all up, our side of the room was all in flames. The building where the fire started was all the equipment for the volunteer fire department. So it was started in the fire department. And when the men got there to try and salvage the equipment, all the nozzles and everything had been removed. So something had been set deliberately. And of course they suspected this one man. And he disappeared right after the fire. And many years later in the Wood River country, when he was on his deathbed, he confessed that he had set that fire at the instigation of Baxter, and Baxter had paid him $100 to set the fire. So that's the story of the fire. Ketchum became kind of a good place in the middle for the families to come down there in Hagerman. So without having decent hotels, those people would have gone somewhere else.